Hi everybody, my name is David Snyder and I'm with the Prescott Sunrise Lions, and this is the Prescott Sunrise Lions show presented by the Prescott Media Center at Prescott Armory. I'm a CPA, MBA, EA with David A. Snyder CPA. I'm also a member of the Prescott Sunrise Lions Club. Please go to prescottsunriselionSclub.org to see the projects we participate in, and come to our meeting every Thursday at 7 a.m. at Waffles and More. And we are a very gregarious group that really gets along with each other, and we serve the community. We are coming up on tax credit season. I've mentioned this in the past show that there's 5 tax credits. There's the Arizona Military Family Relief Fund, which is 400 married filing jointly and 200 other statuses. There's the school tuition program, which is a private school like Primavera or Sacred Heart, and that's $2,080. And half of that, it's actually $2,180. So that would be $2,090 or $1,090 for other statuses. So $2,180 for married filing jointly, $1,090 for other statuses. And then there's the other schools, the public school tax credit, which is $400, $200. Then there is the foster care tax program, which is $1,000. Married filing jointly, and $500 for other statuses, and that is for like the Casa for Kids program. That helps foster kids. And then there's the charitable organization tax credit, which used to be called the Working Poor tax credit, which is now $800 married filing jointly and 400 other statuses. Now keep in mind that if you get this done by 12/31, it not only helps you on the Arizona tax return, but it also helps you on the federal. But for 4 out of 5 of those, you have until April 15th to do those tax credits to be able to help you on your state tax return, your Arizona. And again, all the programs have to be in Arizona. And if say you owe $4,000 and you paid in the whole amount, the $4,780, then you would not owe anything. You could get your withholdings back, but you wouldn't be able to get you would carry forward the excess, the $780 in excess, forward up to 5 years. Now keep in mind that the one that you cannot extend to April 15th is the Arizona Military Family Relief Fund, and that's because they have a cap of $1 million. So do that one right now, because I sent mine in late November last year and they sent it back and I didn't get credit for it that year. So that was pretty interesting. And that's the second out of about 5 times that that's happened. So because I sent it too late, because remember they have a cap, and it's a terrible cap, but at the same time it's a cap, and that's the law. One of our main money-making ventures for the Prescott Sunrise Lions is our calendar. We plan on getting that out in November, so that we can take advantage of the tax credits program, and also honor our commitment to our sponsors, so they can benefit from the calendar also. Please consider buying a wonderful calendar, thereby contributing to the local community. And the next thing I want to talk about is the Lions International is now working on a new global initiative, the Worldwide Diabetes Epidemic. Let me say that again. The Worldwide Epidemic for Diabetes. The Lions clubs in the Tri-City area are looking at ways to distribute the pilot program related to this initiative. We have it through, I guess, the end of November, but we are planning on creating diabetes support groups that will support the people in the area with diabetes, and help them come up with a plan for themselves to help the people in the region with diabetes, essentially. And we're going to talk about this we're going to elaborate on this with my guest today, Jim Robak, who is from the Prescott Evening Lions Club. Thank you for coming, Jim.
You're welcome, Dave. Thanks for having me over.
All right. So let me tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we can get on with the...
Well, I was impressed with all the tax credits, and coming from Minnesota 20 years ago, we didn't have that. So all of you out there, you really need to take advantage. My wife and I have done that. It's a wonderful win-win situation.
Absolutely.
And then he also mentioned, too, of course, his club. I've been at your club, and they are fun. And I think that's what I've seen over the years lately, David, is all of our clubs getting together, having fun doing it, but also really making a difference in the community, because that's our motto. We serve.
We
you know,
serve.
so that's what we're
Absolutely.
here for.
That's what it says right
Yeah.
there.
So I came 20 years ago. I had been a Lion back in Minnesota and jumped in on the Prescott Evening Lions. And like your club, we're there doing different projects, a variety of things to raise money for our community, helping out young, old, everybody in between. And one of the things I've enjoyed about it is, indeed, it is fun. You feel like you're making a difference. And, you know, what else better can you do in the world but, you know, help others?
Yes.
So that's why I do it. And I've been involved with other things in the community, but I always tell people there's a lot of good civic clubs out there. If you really want to make a difference, if you want to serve the community, that's what we do. We volunteer. The Lions are one of the best at it, and we're big. You know, 140,000 clubs in the world. You know, I mean, it's huge
It's
and growing.
47,000
Is that what it is? I had the 47 right.
1.4 million members in 210 countries around the world.
I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now recently I got appointed for District 21C, the diabetes chair. I'm not sure what that means other than I try to help out and give information and help our district governor, Ken Leha, that was on the show earlier, I know, and talking about this
Yes.
project too.
Yes.
And boy, is there a need out there with diabetes, you know, when
Absolutely.
you hear these numbers. So it's something that, again, we jump toward, and beyond the 4 initiatives we had previously, now this is the 5th one through Lions International, that they don't just announce it. They don't just say, well, we're thinking about doing this. They jump right in it. And we've already got this grant that we're actively involved in the community and trying to spend that money wisely, well, and help out those that are in need.
And the initiative started when? July 1st? of
Yeah, we
17?
first heard about it in July with a partner down in the Valley and American Diabetes Association, and then Ken came back from Chicago and said, yes, this has been announced. And so we knew there was some monies that LCIF was going to put out there, grant money. And you can call it seed money, you can call it whatever, but the whole idea is to make sure that it kicks off and is sustainable. And I think that's my goal, is to make sure it just doesn't get used and then dies or nothing happens, no measurements or anything. I want to see it sustainable so that we can say it started here in 2017, now a couple years later it's grown, we're helping more and more people every year and doing what we need to do with that money. So sustainability is in my opinion, quite critical.
Absolutely. We're not like a government program where they just spend it for the, you know, to get the same amount back later, right?
Yeah.
So.
And as Ken alluded to on a show previous, there's actually 3 clubs within our 21C. There's Mesa, there's the Asian American Club down in Peoria area, and then there's us up here. The other thing I really like about it on a selfish level is that we actually get all of our clubs here, all 8, 9 or whatever clubs, working together and for the same common cause, because we know that if we work together we can find more people, we can serve more people,
Absolutely.
we can make a bigger difference in our community.
So, so you've had some support group meetings.
We have. We've got, from 2 weeks ago, we have many partners in our community with Allianism, and that was the idea, to bring people together. So a great partner in our community is Alta Vista. Shannon over there, she's always looking for ways she can help her residents. She goes so far as to even talk to some of the other residential assisted living programs out there, bringing them together. They work nicely together. She works with the diabetes walk that was just done on October 14th.
We were in that, right?
And we had 15 of us, I think I counted. Your Sunrise group, a number of you, our Prescott Evening Lions, we had the Noon Lions there, and I think we were like the first or second largest. And on a beautiful morning, it was pretty good. Did you go you went the whole distance?
I went the whole distance.
Yeah, I didn't. I have to be honest.
I don't know how many, what was that?
4 miles.
4 miles?
Yeah. I only went a mile and a half, but I did okay.
I walked with some people I knew
You're
for
younger.
a little while, and then I was trying to catch up to the guy ahead of us.
Yeah.
So
It's always so beautiful, the weather, the trees turning, and I think I've been doing it for about 18 years. And as you probably read in the paper, they had around 200 people, and we raised over $35,000.
That's a great amount of money.
Yeah, it is, and it's going
for a great cause.
Absolutely. So getting back on track, what I said is we need to not only have it sustainable, but let's work together, because we can be much more efficient and much more effective. So we've got the Noon Lions, we've got the Prescott Valley Early Birds over there. They're working with families.
Yep.
You guys are really taking it on great with the youth programs.
Absolutely.
And in the schools, you've got connections there. So I think we're just kind of getting it rolling. We did one 2 weeks ago, and we had a small amount of people. It was only 12 people there, but I think it's a start. And as the word gets out, more and more people come to these support groups. What is a support group, right? Okay, it's not the traditional where we bring a whole bunch of information and try to educate the people. We're assuming two things. We're assuming that they know a little bit about their disease, be it a type 1 or type 2. We assume also, though, that they probably don't know really where to go to talk to each other, to get together on a routine, regular basis, and to share information, stories, and needs. And so that latter one is where we feel we can come in and make a difference. We found, and I've known this over the years, that YRMC does a super job on the educational support group. And they, every first, I think it's Sunday of the month, they put out in the newspaper, in the Courier, the announcement that it'll be on X day that at this time, and they have people come and learn and get help that they need for diabetes. What we're going to focus on is getting those people, type 2 is our focus within our Prescott Evening Lions. And we'll bring those people together, and then if it was you and I, we'd say, Dave, did you know about this program or this person that I talked to and might be able to help you out? Or I can say, here's another avenue to go, or there's a great nutrition program out there that's really helped me, and you might be interested in it. So we're sharing information, we're helping each other, but the channel comes from the Lions group. Again, bringing people together.
And everybody's different anyway, so even if they have diabetes and it's the same type, a nutritional program might help you, but might not help me.
Yeah. Again, it's that 1 out of 8 that have diabetes, but every one of those, say 80 out of 100 or 80 out of 1,000, it would be then, or whatever the number is, they're each going to be different. They're different in age, gender, background, nutrition, exercise, what they're doing, their programs, their body. We're all different. So we have to look at it individually, but yet as a group we can share general information and learn and help out each other. And it's such a, I'm just going to say, a great feeling when you're rewarded by knowing that that person now is going to lead a little better life, a little healthier life perhaps, be more active, feel better, get out in the community. Everybody wins. So we feel good about it. Most importantly, those people with diabetes that are being helped. And sometimes it's just a little bit. Sometimes it just starts small and grows from there. But here's the beauty of it. If they will go and share with their neighbor, their friend, or somebody that they know at work or something that has diabetes, all of a sudden you got a whole bunch of people. And those bunch of people are learning from each other and being helped. That's what it's all about.
And it might even help to have some knowledge so that people don't get the disease.
Well, it's always education.
Preemptive, so that even though they might be coming, they might be on the cusp of it.
Oh yeah.
It could probably help. Like, for example, my father got diabetes, the type 2 diabetes, when he was 59 or something like that. But he was a smoker, and he also never really exercised.
Didn't help, did it?
So that's probably why and I exercise all the time and don't smoke. So
yeah, you got to jump up on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to avoid it, even though I eat too many sweets, I guess.
But you and I both.
But sometimes they tell you that it might not be that. I mean, it might be just related to the sugar in general, or not being able to process.
Well, again, and it might affect you that way, but not me.
Yeah.
And age or whatever difference.
Yeah.
We actually have a sheet that we will pass out to our individuals, and by going through this check sheet, they can get a feel of where they're at. The other big number, I mentioned 1 out of 8 in the country have diabetes, type 2 specifically. But the really bad key number is 1 out of 4 of us are pre-diabetic. I mean, 25% of us folks pre-diabetic. I'm kind of one of those. I'm always borderline when I do the test. I'm a chocoholic, I know that. The good thing is, I'm so far lucky, but I do exercise a lot, like you. I do try to eat halfway's right otherwise. And
my wife forces me to.
We got good wives. Yeah, without them, we'd be in doo-doo. So it's like, but any day, that could change too. And that's why we need our regular checkups and be watching and be ready. Education, that's where it goes back to. So we're not even trying that hard to educate. These people probably know already. However, that 1 out of 4, maybe we can educate and prevent them or delay it at least for a long period of time.
Or get them on an exercise program, or tell them to stop smoking,
it's basic
things
stuff
that contribute to
the
issue itself. It's not cut and dry, but at the same time, it would really help if people did have a wife that forced them to eat right. And
sometimes that's what it takes. It always gets back to your own personal commitment and values and making those changes. It's not easy. And I know, I do admit I'm a chocoholic. Could I change in other life habits? Sure. But chocolate, I guess it's been there all my life, and it's really a challenge for me to cut back. I cut back a little bit, that does help.
And you're from Minnesota, so it probably
Yeah,
kept you warm.
Anything besides, ice fishing and cribbage after a while, that gets a little old too. So we all tend to eat a little bit more than we should, maybe not the right diet all the time and that. But at 65, I'm still hanging in there, and we just all need to look at, as you said, individually and try to be preventative and know the information. So getting back to that, there's tons of information out there. We've learned a lot too in the last month or two with this program that it's out there, and all you got to do is ask for it, be it the ADA or through government or through other online hospitals. Very good. They have tons of information over there. And once you have that information, then it's up to you to read it, understand it, abide by it, stick with it, and we only have ourselves to blame if we don't do that and break the rules and other. What I found at this first support group we had about 2 weeks ago, David, was that these people naturally start talking amongst themselves and say, "Oh, did you know this? Did you know that? Or what about this recipe? Even what we eat and how we cook it and stuff." And I just kind of sat back and listened and watched. And again, we got it started. We provided some of the resources. We even had for the portion plates that it shows, which is really nice, and I should actually get one of those, how much protein, how much starch, how much, different areas, so you're not eating the wrong foods. And of course, the biggest portion of the plate was vegetables and fruit. And I've gotten to learn to like vegetables pretty better.
Again, my wife forces me to eat
and
vegetables.
because of my wife too, boy, this is going to be my wife's show. And then the fruit, and I've always liked fruit, but you just kind of don't get on it. So if we even are us pre-diabetics perhaps learn that too, that might be helpful. We provided them with some recipe books, which the people there stated, "Oh, that's kind of fun. That looks interesting. That's fun." So it gets their mind thinking, "Yeah, I can do this." And then we got some of those stretch bands and stuff for exercise, and they can use.
What does that do?
You know what it does? It gets the body flowing. It gets them in a habit more than anything else. You and I probably have a habit that we work out or stretch every day. I do personally.
I do. I have to.
And if I don't, I know I'm in trouble, and I feel like I'm missing something. But most people, a lot of people, aren't in a habit and don't have that. So if we give them something and then kind of give them a little guideline to start, be it just simple stretching or put it on the door and stretching with the legs, all of a sudden it gets kind of fun. All of a sudden they're feeling a little bit better. And in most cases, in mine in particular, that 5 or 7 pounds that we might drop, that's pretty helpful. So it's nothing more than just a tool to get into more and more and build that habit. It's a habit.
Now, once you get diabetes, can you get out of it? Can you leave it?
Yeah, usually not. That's the sad news about this disease. If you're borderline, you can kind of come back and forth by doing the right things. But once you have it, type 1 or 2, type 1, you're pretty much stuck early on in life and going. With type 2, it's all controlled by those variables of nutrition, exercise, lifestyles, and not smoking, all those. If you smoke, if you don't eat right, if you do not exercise, and all those things, you're in for a big, hard time. You're in trouble.
Unless you're just predisposed not to get it.
Well, and those lucky people, yeah, that's fine.
Genetically, they're not able to get it.
But there's no test. You don't know. So even hereditarily, sometimes people never pick it up from the past, hereditary. But sometimes all of a sudden it's never been in my family. And here I'm 26 years old, Ken's son that we heard about. He's got diabetes. Yeah, pretty young. And it can be at my age, 65 all of a sudden. So prevent it if you can, but when you have it, come to the people that can help you to keep it under control, live a good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, and do the best you can with it. To cure it, no, not really. I mean, some people can push it back a little bit, but if I were to say, we can cure you, no, I'm just misleading you. That'd be a lie. No, can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're having a lot of fun with it, though. And I think your group is going to take on the youth movement, right?
Yeah, it's more like the youth movement with type 1.
Yes, okay. In
That's
ours, we're
Mark
looking more with
Anderson.
the elderly with type 2, and I'm going to read here with this brochure, a week from yesterday, just coming up here, I should say, Wednesday, November 1st, we're going to have our second one at 1 o'clock at Alta Vista. We just set up today that the 29th of November will be our third one that will invite people and hopefully new people all the time. So through those three support group sessions, we hope to meet a lot of new people with diabetes that they can walk away and they can say, hey, thanks, I learned something here, I'm going to work on this program, I'm going to continue. The biggest thing we want, though, is sustainability.
Yep.
So you've heard this. We train the trainer, and we want these people, somebody hopefully will step forward, and let's say it's our small group, and Jim says, pick me, I'm going to keep this going. It's not just going to be November 1st and November 29th. Let's meet once a month here, Alta Vista or wherever they're offering their facility. We'll all get together, and on that date, at this time of the month, we're going to come and share our stories. We're going to come and help out each other. That's what our ultimate goal is. If we can accomplish that, we've been successful.
And then have the support group. They do twice a month or something. Right?
Whatever fits. They're going to decide that, not you and I. We're going to get them started. We've got the seed money. We get them going, and then they say, for our group, we need to meet twice a month. And we need to bring in a speaker, perhaps. And let's focus on nutrition for a couple months, and then we'll go into exercise or whatever. They pick, not us. We can only give them the resources. We can give them some information. We can say, here's the tools that will help you, and then we can go from there. So
and
it's
then we
kind
can
of
acquire supplies as needed. Eventually.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it seems like the Lions Club didn't start this to stop it just because of a pilot program, right?
No.
They want to see it sustained, and they want it
Yep.
to continue, and it's a fifth plank. What are the other 4 planks?
You put me on the spot here. Hearing and sight, of course, is
Of
one.
course.
Environment, I know, is one of them.
Environment.
I believe it's youth. Is that correct? You're going to get me on this. Oh,
It is
something with youth.
birth or
Birth defects and...
no, it's childhood cancer.
Okay, I knew it was
Pediatric
something with you.
cancer.
Now, the fourth one, I don't know. I can't remember. Tell me.
That's the one I can't remember.
Okay,
I
so
was trying
we're going to have to get back to you folks out there on that one. But yeah, they're all worldwide. They're all very valid causes over the many years, 100 years now.
100
over
years.
with Lionism. And especially, within this community, it's so strong in what we do. But I think they hit it on the nail here with diabetes. When you see that many people, and I got a feeling different places in the world, it's higher or lower, but it's out there. And so if we just get it started, if we can help and lower that number through education and sharing of information and providing the tools and resources, then we have done something great again. And that's what Lionism is all about.
Again,
Again,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, we know that Lions Clubs International started 1917, and then in the 1920s, Helen Keller asked us to be the Knights of the Blind, and that's when we became Sight and Hearing, essentially.
Right. Yep. But it's expanded. Now we do hearing.
Hearing
yeah.
and the other things
the one we can't remember.
And the ones we can't remember, and environment, like we do recycling in Prescott Valley. For all Prescott Valley, our Sunrise Lions Club does.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. It's not just one thing anymore. It's not just one club. It's a number of clubs working together on numerous needs. And
Absolutely.
then we even did an assessment, I think, like 3 years ago. We said to the community, what's your biggest need? Is it environment? Is it site? Well, it actually was a lot of things. And so each of our clubs, I know we do different projects that we help out and make a difference. Yeah, I was thinking if we didn't have us, community would be a little less of what it is today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And also other groups out there, but ours is the best.
Yeah.
I always tell people that Kiwanis thinks of it. We as the Lions actually do the project.
Yep.
And then the Rotary gets credit for it.
Well, they all do good work, and if it's
Yeah.
Rotary, Kiwanis, and what I like about all the clubs
I tell
I've
that
been
to
involved
Kiwanis
with,
people.
well, yeah, it depends who you're talking to, but it's neat because we all have our expertise, and then we all still try to work together. And you can go around town anywhere, the zoo, public places, parks, and you see the benches and you see the projects being done. What a great community! Imagine if we didn't have that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful community.
Yeah, and the volunteerism,
Yeah.
just that alone.
A lot of helpful people.
What are we looking at? About 400, 500 local with Chino and Prescott Valley and us, the Quad City area?
Yeah, and then you probably couldn't, in charity, you probably couldn't
No.
walk across the street corner without hitting, somebody doing charitable work
No.
of some sort.
And it's the dollars that stay here. That $12,000, I don't know if I informed you yet, but you were involved with our golf tournament, right?
Yep.
And you helped us raise $12,000 net that we give right back to the community. It doesn't go, administrative, or it doesn't go out, it stays here.
It goes in the community. Nobody gets paid at Lions Club. So,
Really?
Nobody.
Oh,
So it all goes back to the community. All the monies go back to the community, and we really helped out the community. So
well, I think we have something here with the fifth initiative, the diabetes. I had known about diabetes before. Didn't know how to really make a difference locally, other than give some money and support the walk and that type of thing. This, we're hitting the grassroots, David. And when all of our clubs coming together, I think we'll look back in 3 or 5 years, you and I, and we'll say, remember back in 2017 in November, and we just kind of got started? Look where it's at now. That's what I'm hoping for.
I hope so too. I want this to work really well, because this is just it's a terrible disease that really needs the support of the communities around here, as well as the Lions Club.
And we'll get more people involved.
Yeah.
And our part from the Lionism is probably to get more of you folks out there to say, let me check that out. And if it's the morning or the evening or the noon or whatever club that fits for you, check us out, because almost every time I invite somebody to say, didn't know you did that, how can I get involved? And count me in.
Absolutely. There's a lot of big hearts around here.
Yes, there is. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to conclude here. We're the Prescott Sunrise Lions Club, as well as the Evening Club is helping us out here. And we'd like to invite you to our club meeting, which is at Waffles and More at 7 a.m. every Thursday. You will find that our club is friendly and fun, but also very engaged in the community. We joke and laugh and fully understand our purpose in the community we serve. If you want to be part of such a group, then become a member of the club. The club. I also want to thank the Prescott Sunrise. The Prescott Media Center, Jim, Linda, and Rob for helping us with this program today. And I would like to thank you, Jim Robak.
You're very welcome, David.
Leader at the Prescott Evening Clubs, for running this wonderful and helpful program to help combat diabetes in the community, as well as in the world.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.